Just wait just a second, and then we will begin. Make sure we're streaming everywhere that we can, real quick. I believe we are. Yes, we are. Okay. Alright, so this is a live update, 2:30 p.m. December 30th. We are close to 2022, so Happy New Year to everyone. We're starting it off with a bang, in all honesty. We are talking about a winter storm that's coming our way. Looks like it's going to be around January 1st, near the end of January 1st. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about that in this stream and break down what our potential snowfall totals will be using the models, and kind of get a rough estimate of what we're going to be dealing with. Now, it looks like all the models are trending towards a few sets of winter storms over the next few weeks. So we're going to be dealing with cold. The temperature is going to drop after the storm moves through, and more winter weather behind it. So we're going to have to be keeping an eye out because the winter storm machine has really kicked into gear starting on January 1st. Okay, so all of the ways you can connect are there. You can scan that QR code in the top right corner to get connected even further with this system. Alright, we are just going to delve right in. Let me check and make sure. Yes, you can see it now. Alright, so this is the GFS model. GFS model kind of shows an idea of the weather that is coming. Same with all the other models. We're going to be comparing models today. GFS, ECMWF model, and the NAM model. All of them provide different information in regards to the type of weather that we'll be seeing over the next couple of days. And specifically what we're going to be targeting is January 1st and 2nd, because snowfall totals in Michigan look like they're going to be pretty decent. One of the more major snowfalls that we will have over the course of the winter. Alright, so here is the regional map. Right now, nothing going on. That's how it's been most of the day. Just cloudy, kind of gloomy. Just pretty quiet day. And it's going to be the same for the 31st as well. It's going to get a little bit warmer. You have that little bit of a ridge that's building off to the south, where that 546 line is at. Those red lines indicate a warmer air mass, a ridge that's building. So you have that low pressure system that moves on through, and on the back side is the key thing that we want to be looking at. You already can see some of the snow developing. This is early morning, New Year's Day, is where we're at right now. You can see snow kind of developing in Iowa, northern Missouri, parts of southern Kansas, or northern Kansas and southern Nebraska. And what we're really going to have to pay attention to, and what's really going to have a part to play in the amount of snow that we get as this winter storm moves in, this is evening time of New Year's Day, and you have this winter storm that's moving in to northern Indiana, parts of southern Michigan, up into about a line around Big Rapids going northward. Other places won't see as much snow as areas down to the south. And you got some thunderstorms on the southern half. Southern Indiana, southern Ohio are going to be dealing with those. So that's going to be something to pay attention to. But on the southern side of the state of Michigan, you have the snow. In northern Indiana, northern Ohio, extreme northern Ohio is going to get the snow. So that is what we're dealing with in regards to this weather. So let's pull it a little bit forward here. So the snow continues to move out through overnight. The heaviest of the snow is going to be an overnight thing. So By the time we wake up Sunday morning, there's going to be a lot of snow on the ground, probably some very risky travel conditions in that area. So you're probably not going to want to be traveling Sunday morning when this storm moves through. Let's take a look at the snow totals real quick. Oh, that's the temperatures. I want to look at the snow totals. We'll take a look at that. And if you're watching, you can feel free to chime in with a question or a comment on any of the snow that is coming. We're going to advance this map just a little bit. Alright, this is after the storm moves through. Gfs Model is putting out a rather heavy bit of snow in parts of southern Iowa, western Illinois, northern Missouri, up to 13 inches in that area. But as it progresses eastward, it's going to start to lose that strength, and it's really going to drop around 6-7 inches in southern Michigan, northern Indiana. And then as you go north towards Grand Rapids, off to the north, you kind of get those smaller snow totals. But really the focus point of this storm is southern Michigan, northern Indiana, parts of central Indiana also could see some accumulations of 2 to 4 inches, all associated with this really strong storm system that is going to be moving along that ridge that's going to be just to our south. So really what we're looking at here is if we go to the upper air view, we gotta find that. For some reason it's not here. There it is. Where is it? It's disappeared. Well, anyway, this low pressure system is going to be traveling along this ridge, and this ridge is what's really going to have a part to play in regards to where we get the snow and rain line. So let's go back to the national map and get a visual on this. Go to that's what I'm looking for. Now we'll be able to look at it. So this is what the temperatures look like in the upper levels of the atmosphere. You have this area in red, which is a ridge, and the area in blue, which is the trough. Troughs indicate colder air in the upper levels of the atmosphere, and that is where you see cold air sinking, because cold air typically will sink, and then warm air will rise. So as we progress this forward, what we will see happen is we see this trough just dip straight down from the Arctic, and that is what's going to be fueling this storm, this trough right here. So you have your cold front and your warm front right along this area. So like we can actually see that pretty well when we go to the precipitation type. So let's go back to where we were looking at that. Let's backtrack a little bit. So where you really have your warm front here is right along central Indiana, right here. And then you have your cold front following that line of storms that could actually produce some severe weather in parts of Kentucky, Tennessee, Alabama, maybe even parts of southern Ohio, but the chances of getting as far as up there is slim. But as that moisture wraps around that low pressure system, where the big red L is, as it wraps around there, you're going to have the moisture that goes up there. It won't be able to hold the moisture because the air on the northern side of the low pressure system is getting colder. So that precipitation is going to fall, and the temperature level is low enough to where we can have snow on the northern edge. So it all has to do with where that 540 line, that first blue line that you see above the red line, wherever that lands will have a big role in where our snowfall will be. If it's a little bit south, there will be more snow off to the south. If it's further north, there will be more snow off to the north. That's where it really depends. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that as it moves through. But let's go back to snow totals because I'm sure that's what we're really concerned about here. So regional, we're going to go back to the Great Lakes map. So what's happening here is, let's go to the snow accumulations. We're going to use a certain ratio that compares Alright, so here's our ratio. We've got our snow total. after the storm moves through. This is by the end of it, so this is evening of January 2nd. There's not going to be much snow taking place after that. You've got about 4 to 6 inches across most of this region here. Even some local amounts in parts such as St. Joseph County, Ann Arbor, those places could see local amounts of 7 or 8 inches as well. So that's something we're going to have to keep an eye on. But mainly, most of this region is going to get 4 to 6 inches, but it's going to be in a short amount of time, which will cause hectic travel across most of the area. We're lucky we're not going to be in places such as Illinois, Iowa, Missouri, where we're going to get upwards of up to 13 inches, potentially, based on the latest models. So let's look at how the ECMWF models look taking this. We looked at the GFS model. Now we're looking at the ECMWF. So let's progress this forward. Kind of following a similar scenario as the GFS. So you can see that you got snow in the northern part of Indiana and southern Michigan, and it extends it actually further northward than the GFS into Michigan, parts of northern Michigan, all the way up towards places such as Traverse City, Petoskey, areas like that. So areas such as Cedarville, Indianapolis, those places going to see thunderstorms and rain. Not really much in terms of snow, but there will be colder air behind this system that you'll be dealing with as well. Let's take a look at how this model is putting out snow totals. I did not mean to click that link. We're going to go back. There we go. So regional models, Great Lakes region. Let's take a look at that storm again as it moves into the Great Lakes area. So this is when it starts to begin to move in. You've got stronger thunderstorms in Kentucky, rain on the top side in southern Illinois, southern Ohio, southern Indiana, and then that area of snow along the north side of that low pressure system as it progresses. And it's actually saying that parts of northern Indiana, southern Michigan, the storm's going to start off as rain, the precipitation will, and then it'll slowly begin to transition to snow behind it. So that's going to lead to some ice accumulations potentially on the southern side of the system, and that'll lead for even more slick travel. And there might be a little bit of lake effect snow on the back side of this based on the model's putting out a little bit of lake effect snow. Not a lot of lake effect snow, but there will be just a little bit. All right, let's go to snow accumulations because that's what you're really here for. Our previous model said 4 to 6 inches. This model puts out a little bit less, but we're also using a different ratio. We're comparing it on a 10-to-1 ratio. So basically that means for 1 inch of rain, you have 10 inches of snow. So really all we're getting in terms of rainfall is 4/10 of an inch of rain. But as snow, that would typically turn out to be 4 inches of rain. But this doesn't take into account the amount of moisture that is in the atmosphere as a result of temperature, the snow melts. This particular snowfall accumulation model does not take into account those different factors and a lot of other variables, but this gives you just a general representation of if 1 inch of rain represents 10 inches of snow, that's what you have here. So 4.2 inches, 3 to 5 inches is really what this model is putting out, and it's actually extending it a little bit farther north than the previous model we looked at in northern Indiana and northern Ohio. So this model is putting it a little bit northward, so we're going to have to keep an eye out on where that storm will particularly go, which model is more accurate. Southern model, GFS is putting it out to the south, and then the ECMWF model putting it to the north. NAM is putting it out a little bit more intense model for snowfall. Again, same scenario. You've got rain on the southern side, and then snow on the north side following that low pressure system, just how a low pressure system typically would operate. Let's go to a regional map so we can just look at the Great Lakes region. What's happening here? All right, we're going to extend it. This is New Year's Eve. New Year's Day, we're getting early morning on New Year's Day. Now we're in midday. NAM's putting out that it's going to start off as rain for most of the time, and it's not even going to hit southern Michigan in terms of snow and northern Indiana. Again, I don't think the NAM is the best model. I think the ECMWF and GFS are way better models to project snowfall. So if it gets this far north and NAM proves to be right, that'll be quite surprising. and it's putting out a lot more snow too. If we go to the snowfall totals in regards to this, so total snow accumulations from this system, let's take a look. It puts out a lot more snow than what other models put out. It puts out 8 to 10 inches, maybe even upwards of up to a foot in some places. So, and that's much farther off to the north in parts of northern Michigan, southern Michigan. I don't think this model is going to be that trustworthy in regards to the potential for those type of conditions. Freezing rain, though, for the NAM, I want to kind of look at this and see if we get any freezing rain out of this. Yeah, it looks like some freezing rain potential does exist in parts of, and again, accounting for the NAM, we might want to drop this accumulation amount off to the south a little bit. So I'd say parts of southern Michigan, parts of northern Indiana, northeastern Indiana, and parts of northwestern Ohio could see this type of freezing rain accumulation, around 1/10 to 1/4 inch of rain and isolated amounts to 1/2 inch of ice as a result of freezing rain. So keep an eye on that. I think this projection will be much more south than it's being shown here. So let's go back to the model that I'd say has the more accurate, the GFS ECMWF. So I want to look at some future winter storms that are coming that are being forecasted by this GFS model. This is the one that we're going to be dealing with on January 1st. Welcome 2022 with a bang. But other than that, we have more storms to be talking about as well. So let's go back to the national map, and we'll just slide through and take a look at the different storms that could be coming our way. But before we do that, I want to show you the temperature on the back side of our system tonight, or January 1st. So it's going to get a little bit warmer come New Year's Eve. So that's good to know. But on the back side, you have that cold front, which is going to come in before the major precipitation in southern Michigan and northern Indiana comes as snow. And then on the back side, look at how cold the temperatures are going to get. Get some temperatures in the teens, maybe even in the single digits in parts of Michigan, northern Indiana. It's going to be quite cold as a result of that cold front. And then we're going to get a couple more fronts. This is going to be our next system that's going to bring some more cold temperatures again, and even single digits in Ohio, Indiana. So winter's definitely going to be settling in, sub-zero temperatures even in eastern Ohio by the 9th, according to the model. But then we're getting long range, which kind of goes a little bit excessive. Long range we can't really trust extremely well in regards to the model. So we're going to go back to close range. But it does provide some interesting information in regards to systems, because December 7th might be another system to keep an eye on, or January 7th. So we have that winter storm that passes through New Year's Day. There it is right there. We're going to backtrack. This is our winter storm for New Year's Day. Moves through. We got that trough on the backside giving us those nice cool temperatures. Progressing eastward. Some more potential snowfall on the 6th or the 7th. Right now the models are putting that out as farther north. And then another winter storm potential for the 7th. So this one's really going to target Ohio based on the current models. So southern Ohio, central, pretty much the entire state of Ohio is going to be dealing with very heavy snow, especially the Cedarville region. If you live in Cedarville, there's going to be a lot of heavy snow, it looks like, in your area based on the model. Again, model's kind of long range. We're going to have to wait to see where the later models projections will put this storm. But lake effect snow on the backside. We're going to get more cold temperatures. It looks like there's going to be a lot of lake effect snow behind that system. So that's going to be something to watch out for. And then another potential winter storm system targeting Michigan, pretty much the entire state of Michigan. And then looks like we'll be dealing with ice and a rain-snow mix, northern Indiana, northern Ohio, later on. All right, and then when we get long range, it's really hard to use these models, but lots to keep an eye on over the next month. There's going to be a lot of different storm scenarios, so a lot to be aware of. All right, that's all I really had to show today. So make sure you're prepared for this storm system. If you have an extra blanket, food, or water to put in your car during the snowstorm, if you have to travel, make sure you have it, because snow of this short, it's going to be a short-lived storm, but it's going to drop a lot of snow in a short amount of time. So you're going to want to be prepared for it. And be careful traveling, especially on Sunday morning. I would actually encourage not traveling Sunday morning after the system moves through. So Saturday night, Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening, which is New Year's Day, Sunday morning, we're going to have iffy snow. All right. Hopefully everything that was shown there was beneficial to you. Make sure to stay connected. Scan that QR code if you'd like to. And I will see you all later on.